One of the biggest things that I found with following a routine schedule is when you're dealing with all the symptoms, and you got to get out there and do the things, because you don't want to be sitting at home on the couch for too long, because you'll be hijacked by your thoughts. And when you start to get hijacked by your thoughts, you start to analyze, start to try to figure things out. And then, like me, you'll have a safe room, right? So the safe room, what was in there? It was the bedroom with a nice little table light that was ambient. And all I did there was lay in bed or pace back and forth trying to figure out and find answers to all the what if thoughts that I had that were looping constantly. Right? Because at the time I was resisting, avoiding, fixing, trying to get rid of my thoughts, right? I was resisting like crazy, and what you resist persists. So I had a pacing room back and forth trying to analyze, but researching, constantly researching. And I knew that I wasn't supposed to be researching, but I tried to filter out only the good stuff, right? Like, okay, let's bypass the word cancer 50,000 times and structural. Oh, no, this means you are, right? You can't. It's impossible. The more you try to find the needle of safety in the haystack, the more you find danger everywhere, and you just activated yourself for a week. Now you're fucked for a week, looping on that. And you try to get out. You're trying to get out of this activation bomb of gasoline on the fire that you put in because you're doing the research. It doesn't help that you're trying to figure things out. Of course, it makes sense. We try to figure things out because we're like, I have this problem. And if I could just get reassurance, somehow that problem won't be there, and I could focus on this thing, and I could try to get my way out of this hole. So finally, I took away the resistance. I started to allow the thoughts to be there, let them do their thing, and then I had to engage, which is huge. Engage is probably just as important as allow. But if you take that away, this becomes the gasoline on the fire. We don't want that. You need both of them into one for it to work properly. So you need to allow within a good sweet, got to find a good sweet spot at 3 to 5 minutes, and then you got to engage and move on. Bring that thought with you. It's still going to tag along, of course. It's sticky. It doesn't want to leave right away, right? That comes in time. But for now, you put it on your shoulder and you keep going. And you're probably going to be allowing 500 times a day easily, because we got like 70,000 thoughts a day. So it's always going to come knocking at the door, knocking on your shoulder, going, me next, but this, right? You're going to have alarms screaming like crazy. So allow them to scream and allow what you can, what's on your plate, bit by bit. You don't have to get them all. You don't have to be perfect. You just try your best, right? It's knocking on the door constantly. Open it. Go, okay, you're next. I'm going to close it. I got to work with this guy. We're going to allow, feel it through my chest, let it do its thing, not try to rush it out the door, fix it, analyze it. Right, so I started getting into that slowly. Right, I started to learn how to use the allowing method, and it was great. It's a bit of a learning curve. I did it all wrong, right? But you kind of need to do it wrong in order to adjust and tweak and to do it right eventually. That's like with anything. It takes practice, right? So, you follow your routine, and you need to, because you don't want to be at home ruminating, because when you start to ruminate, you start to research, analyze, and then you get activated, you get more alarms, the survival state goes up, and there we are back on the gerbil wheel of bullshit. That's why we have a routine schedule. So let's say you catch yourself on the couch, you're like, oh shit, what the fuck, what am I, oh fuck, I was about to research something. What time is it? It's 2 o'clock. What the hell am I supposed to... Where's my schedule? Where's my calendar? Right? You get your calendar out. You look at, what do I usually do around this time? 2 o'clock-ish? I'm supposed to be doing a walk and talk. Let's go. So you go. And I know it feels like, no, you're not going. We're gonna figure this out. I need to figure this out right now. We gotta know. Go. Listen to the routine. It's there to support. It's there to support your journey so you move forward. Right? It's not something that's trying to tell you what to do, but it's something that you use as a guide to cross-reference of where you should be. It's like, oh, wait a minute. What do I use? Oh, I'm lost. Because you're going to forget constantly. Even at 2 years, the brain likes to make you forget. When you're in the thick of it, right, all of a sudden you have amnesia constantly. Right? It doesn't want you to have a plan. No, we got to concentrate on the ligers screaming at you. They're dangerous. I don't want you to remember what you're doing. No, listen to me. Wake up. Pay attention to this liger over here, right? So you're going to be confused, forgetful. You're going to forget all the things that you're supposed to know like a fucking pro. Like the back of your back, you're supposed to know this shit. All of a sudden, it's like you're a newbie to everything that you learned for the past 2 years, right? You feel like you become a newbie with everything. It's like, I should know this allowing stuff. Like, I've been practicing it for 2 years, and it's like, what do I do? How do I, right? So it's going to do that. So that's why the schedule is important. It's there to keep you moving forward and keep you on track. And if you have any resistance to it, good. Allow the resistance. That's another purpose that it does, right? It brings things up that you need to allow, but you continue anyway. So, my routine schedule wasn't so much second by second. Maybe somebody with CFS, that's the kind of schedule they need for them. That makes sense, right? If they're slowly going through this journey, if they turn their head too much, they got to crash for 3 days. That's not good. So they need a schedule that's really detailed, zoomed in. It's like, well, what are you doing 7:01 a.m.? Okay, well, you're going to do that till 7:05 a.m. So their schedule's a lot more detailed. Mine was a lot different. Mine was more blocks of time where I tried to do things near that time. And you know what? 9 times out of 8, I did. It just so happened that what I did today pretty much lined up at the same times as yesterday. Every day seems like Groundhog Day. It kind of does. And of course, you have the days where you got to do extra things. I got to get taco meat today. I didn't have to do that yesterday. So I had my post-it notes that I would slap on my calendar, right? And you adjust your routine. It's there to guide you and help you. If you have an event that you would normally be doing visuals that you got to go to, an appointment, look at your schedule and go, well, I got to make some adjustments. Where can I make up to do my elevating or my visuals or my walk and talk? You know what? Let's put that at 4 o'clock. And then this way I can do my appointment, right? And everything's good. I don't miss any of my pillars. That's why it's there, right? So you're able to make up for stuff because you're able to see where everything's at, and it keeps you on track. So my routine was a lot of ish. I had an ish routine, right? It served me amazing because I loved it. It was like, I knew it like the back of my back already, but I still like to have a calendar that I can see everything. I like to see the month. And every day was pretty much the same shit. And I used to put a sticker on my calendar after I finished my day. The hardest days, the worst days that I thought where I had a setback that I failed were actually the most days where you're actually doing the work that puts you forward. So I needed a sticker every fucking day. So I put stickers on every day that I finished. Right? So remember, my routine was more like ish. I had a routine-ish, and it was powerful because all I did, here's an example of where the ish comes in. I would wake up, depending, 7 o'clock, make the bed, brush my teeth, take a shower, listen to a Daily Dare, walk the dog. Then around 8:30, I was out the door. Around 9 o'clock, it depends because I switched it up a couple of times. And this is the thing. Your routine's going to update according to what suits you. So the best thing to do is just go and do it. Go and do it, and you're going to find out what works and doesn't work. Isn't that beautiful? And this is how you change it. So my routine kept changing constantly until I found a nice flow that served my journey, that worked for me. Everybody's got their own journey, right? Create something that works for you. And guess what? Halfway through the journey, my routine looked totally different than it did in the beginning, and it did look different than it did at the end, because you go through shifts, you change things, you have different challenges that come up. So yeah, I was doing visuals from 9 to 10, 10:30, right? And then from 10:30 till like 11, I'd go for a walk and talk till 1, have lunch-ish till maybe 12 to 1 or 1 to 2-ish, and then I would go out again, walk, and then maybe I had run some errands, so that would take me to like 3-ish, right? See a lot of the issues there? And then I come home to prep and make dinner, and then walk the dog and do another walk and talk-ish, and then I would do my elevating around 6-ish, right? Sometimes it was 5:30. It was usually around 6, right? Sometimes it was at 8. Mostly it was near 6-ish, right? So I did that, and then I would just do a wind down. That's it. So that was my day. And I hit up all the pillars along the way, right? I did the allowing through the day. I was being aware of my old behavior patterns. I did my visuals. I did all my stuff that I needed to do. And my routine served me, right? It served me for what I needed for my journey to become successfully recovered and thriving after, right? And it's also there to double down on the hard days. You got to follow that routine no matter what, because you're going to have hard days. It was almost every day was a challenge. So you're like, oh shit, my routine, it says, fuck, I'm going to, this is where I went to the beach probably 3 times a week. I don't know how I found the money to pay for the gas to go to the beach 3 times a week, right? And of course, when you're sitting at home in your safe space, it's like, we got to go. Yeah, but I feel like this cloud of doom and this charge here, and I'm looping, and I got these symptoms in my, I have this pain in my pelvic floor, and it feels like a Rambo knife's up my ass. I follow the routine, Helmut. Yeah, but that means I gotta get out of here, walk to the car, through the pain, through the obsessive thoughts about this shoulder pain. It's trying to keep me here, focused on all these distractions that are happening. I'm like, right? That's why the routine is there. That's why the schedule is there. Fucking follow it, right? That's what I did. I was like, we gotta go. We gotta go. We can bring this problem with us. Fuck it. We can bring this problem with us, and this will stop me from ruminating and researching, and I need to engage. I need to fucking engage, and we're going to allow the best that we can. We're going to do our best. So I followed it. That's the prime time when you need to follow it. And when you start following, you start sending a message of safety. It's a change of focus onto something else, living life, and other obstacles that you got to face, right? So you go to the beach, it's like a fucking war zone, right? It feels like you're in Vietnam with all the thoughts and triggers and, right? Good. That shit I was ruminating about at home before, it's not even there. I got new shit to fucking work on, right? That's how it works. And you keep doing that. You get out there and you recalibrate. You get out there, you get activated. You get out there and get uncomfortable. You get comfortable in the discomfort, right? You get out there and you get discomfortable. Using the routine, sticking to it. It's there to support you when you're being consumed by all the thoughts of the symptoms. So you double down on the schedule no matter what. The routine, no, I got to go for my walk and talk. I know I got this thing that I have to solve, this crazy, right? This murder mystery I have to solve that's happening right now with my symptoms. And we're going to go for a walk and talk. No, we got to go to the beach. No, it says it there. I got to follow it, right? It becomes your guide. Do it. Follow it. And this is every day. Because every day your brain's going to hijack you and find something else for you to obsess about, ruminate, fix, analyze, research. And when you do that, it brings that survival state up. And you get more alarms. And then you're on that gerbil wheel. Do you see? Do you see why it's so important? Right? It's just there to serve you. It's not there to fucking, right, treat you like shit, or it's not an asshole. It's not a bad thing. It's a fucking lifeline. You need it. Because you can't just float around in life and go, yeah, I'll just go over here and then, yeah, why don't we just go over here? Why don't we just fucking, you know what, I'll just go over, right? You can't just go ahead and live life without any sort of organized structure path. Right? Because if you're just willy-nilly being casual, you're not going to move forward. You're going to be all over the fucking place. Really. You're going to be all over the place, and you might do some work here, and then you're going to be, maybe I'll do, I don't know, I get wishy-washy. Right? There's no clear path. And people get stuck, and the failure rate is near 90%. It's almost guaranteed. If you don't have somewhat of a routine schedule, fucking forget about it. And you're going to find out. You're going to see, well, wait a minute, why is that? Wait, I don't feel, okay, what am I, what's going on, right? You're not going to do everything you're supposed to bring the survival state down and to empty your allostatic loads. It's just kind of chaotic. You're literally living the survival chaos day to day. Right? It's anarchy in here and in your life. You're expressing the anarchy with no, right? There's no lighthouse because you're lost at sea. The waves are splashing you over and over again, and you're lost at sea. It's dark, and there's no lighthouse. Let the schedule be the lighthouse to bring you back. Right? To move you forward, because you don't want to be stuck and lost at sea for the rest of your life. Right? So, and I know when you got to follow the routine schedule, you got to deal with the symptoms, the resistance of the symptoms. It's there for a reason, and that's good. You need the resistance of the symptoms so you can allow them. It's kind of like you're baiting it by following the schedule. You get resistance. There's our opportunity. Let's allow that. You see how that works? It sets up situations for you to allow, right? We're going to follow the routine. Here we go. It's like opening a door. The backdraft shows its face. The alarm's screaming. The shadow's like, no. And you're like, yes, gotcha, boy. No, yeah, you're going to be allowed, integrated. Right? That's how it works. So, and I know, I'm going to make sure that everybody understands. I want to talk about this. When you follow a routine and you stick to it, and you go outside, you go on your walk and talks, you go to the beach, you go wherever you're going, the grocery store, right? The brain's going to want to keep you huddled down to this little thing in your safe room or in your car. I started to have 2 safe rooms, right? I used to have only 1. Then I started to go out and do some things. And then all of a sudden, my car became my safe room. Be aware of that shit, right? And I'm like, oh, fuck, my car. I don't feel like, it's just, I'm getting a lot of resistance to leave my car. Shit. So I had to go walk hard. I'm like, fuck it. We're going head first out there. We're walking around. We're going to fucking spend a little bit less time in my car because I got comfortable in my car, right? I was like, oh, it's warm here. I'm safe. I can avoid doing things, right? I can do some of the things on my schedule right here. I could, right? You got to be aware of that shit and go, no. Write that in your schedule. A little reminder. Hey, you got to get out there and walk. So you tweak shit. You start to see little things. This is the journey, right? This is why you got to be aware. Have a meeting with yourself. Go, you know what I noticed? That every time I leave my car lately, I get with this resistance. So we're going to allow that, and we're going to leave my car more often for longer periods of time. So let's put that in my schedule. What the hell did you do? Draw the Mona Lisa?